My name is Rhapsody, and welcome back to Slay the Spire Downfall. We're going to be continuing with the champ in Ascension 6, and every time. Turning that off there. What are our opening options here? I'm using that, of course, just to hide a cut where I load a run that I've done previously, you see. Strats, all of it's being pre-recorded so far, as per the lore of the channel. Lose all soul, transform 2 cards. That looks good to me. Strike and a defend is a decent way to make sure that I straddle 2 different builds, but double defend gives us the ability to be quite aggressive in the early. And then we can try and find ways to supplement our defense after the fact. We got a 3 elite path, early shot. Yeah, let's do 2 defense. Devastate and backstep. Devastate costs 1 less per finisher played this combat. It itself is a finisher, and it also costs 5 by base, is 32 damage. And then there's the backstep as well. The fact that finishers no longer end your turn makes this a lot more playable. Let's try and make like a Devastate-centric build. I say Devastate-centric, right? It's just a single card that does 32 damage. It's not something we can really make a core part of our build. Well, not core part. We can't make it all of our build. But let's do like stance entry and devastation, etc., 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 right? I like the idea behind that. Oh, this is great. Okay, we execute, getting out of this stance, getting defense, and then we taunt to get back into a stance, enter into defender, and I want to do attack. So we're just going to be generating a ridiculous amount of rude. All of the defense were in the end. Oh, that's so rude. I'm just going to be generating a huge amount of energy by jumping in and out of finishers. Preemptive strike requires defensive. Deal damage equal to counter to all enemies. Use half your counter. I think no on any of these, maybe? I need stance entries, and I need finishers. That's what our focus is going to be. Removing a card makes the deck more consistent, obviously. This is an entry, so I don't even remove it. I mean, I would obviously remove a block over it. Block, defend, I guess. But I am going to go fight that merchant, so I might as well have the 100 gold. But then I'm going to use that for removal anyway, so why not just take the take the removal and then peace out of this path? Try and increase the consistency of drawing exclusively our finishes. Now, yeah, that decreases the cost just for playing the finisher. Good. So I don't have to trigger finisher bonuses. So even if I don't start center, I can still do it. Enter Berserker from defensive, and it'll give you bonuses if you are entering from defensive. I mean, it becomes free, and it gives you 8 block and 8 damage, and obviously a start swap. It's good, but it's quite limiting right now. I think I'll avoid it. Nice. Okay, Berserker combo gain block equal to your fatigue, so we can actually do that. Eh? Enter defensive, gain 6 block. Berserker combo. I was in Berserker, right? I'm almost certain I was in Berserker. Was I not in any stance? I might not have been in any stance. That seems like me, to be honest. There we are. Yeah, I might have just had the fatigue, but no stance. If you start your turn in no stance, gain 3 temporary strength and dex. I like the idea of doing that and then just constantly trying to use a finisher to close out my stance at the end of a turn. Speaking of, we'll do exactly that, in fact. Oh, all of the stats are mine. I'd have finished down to that if I could. Another copy of Devastate's going to be really good, right? Fine, you got me. I'll give you a wee bit of a defend there. Bop. Deals 4 damage for each card in your hand containing strike. It itself is also a finisher. No, I don't want to try and pull that up. Deals 5 damage, fatigue 5. Berserker combo the card, deals damage an additional time this combat. No. Flurry of Strikes is a finisher, but God, it's low rent right now. I've removed so many strikes. 10 max HP. No, I'll take the HP from entering shops. That could be super useful next floor. Start with the taunt. It's Berserker, I guess. Fine. That's exactly what I wanted to have happen, actually. I can get the good, clean, fun trigger here. And if I don't use defensive there, I still enter the next turn with no starts. Kind of ideal for us. We've just got to go balls to the wall on this one. It's apparently a flight term. Not actually anatomically related at all, apparently. At least as I've heard. Go for the extra defense because we know we have the kill next turn. Pen nib as well as... I mean, that's another stance entry. Yeah, no reason not to take that, I think, there. I really want to fight all 3 heads, but God, they're going to bot me something fierce. I'm going to fight all 3 heads. I don't know why I'm doing that. Shouldn't be done that. Shouldn't be done that. You know, the common thing that people say, shouldn't be done that. Oh, boy. Oh, cool. They killed my Devastate. So, and Duel will not work here either. All right. This is going to be a problem. We may die in this fight. I may have been... Oh my God. Stop giving me Duel. It's like an AoE fight. It's like one of those AoE fights, though. So Duel's not... Because it's not good. So exhausted defend. All right, well, now it's just, can I kill the bottom one? Berserker style. The AoE weaken for everyone. Yeah, that's gonna kill us. Ow. Dead. I really wanted to take that risk because I thought we were going to be able to just like absolutely jet off into the moon if we had have gotten all of those out. Sadly, we did not. Enough starting options as well. Rough. Fine. Enemies in 3 combats, flee in terror, just making the opening a little bit quicker. We'll take a bunch of enemies in the opening here as well. I'll in fact take the Ruby Key. Gain some extra strength, so the things like multi-strike builds are a lot easier to already broach our way into. Just stance to enter. If you're already in that stance, add a combo that stance into your hand. Upgrades to also just add a combo that stance into your hand regardless. The combo is not necessarily upgraded. It's also not 0 cost, so that stance is... I'll take Lariat. Lariat's typically quite good. Skillful dodge, death blow, and endure. All right. Skillful dodge, pair the deck back, try and become a defensive combo deck. It seems reasonable, if also not particularly exciting. Flurry of strikes as well. Set a trap. Gain counter for each attack in your hand. Enter defensive. Sure. Nothing really we can do about that. Skillful dodge. Get more counter for every one of the defense. I'll just manually defend as well. Killing this enemy is going to be hard until we get like a shield throw or shield bash or something. Yeah, like we're going to do almost no damage to them. 25. Oof. Most decks already do a lot more than that. Oh no. I'll take a single copy of Duel. That's going to be good against elites, especially. False counter. Requires defensive. Next time counter activates. Only use half. It's also a finisher. Sure. Great. I really wanted to get into defensive here so that when I use my first finisher... Wow, you are actually kidding me. Rude. When I use my first finisher, I'm going to be able to defend against an enemy's incoming attack. Interesting. Went entirely in the other direction there. I still kind of stand by it. Goodbye, Gremlin. Bronze Idol. Okay. Okay, I'm keen on it. On guard. I mean, it's a good amount of block. Sure. I'll take a single copy of it. Art of War is going to be really good in this deck that doesn't necessarily plan on playing many attacks. Trying to use counter a lot. Any of the ones that just add counter by their base are pretty good. Obviously Skillful Dodge, but we're kind of thickening the deck up a bit. Lariat for the extra energy is really, really, really good. Play something after it, possibly a finisher. Yeah, I'll be upgrading all of the cards in the deck with that, thank you. On guard, defend, Lariat, strike! Of course, you get the energy back. I literally just upgraded Lariat to do that. Oops. We got the pain out in a couple spaces time as well. Shouldn't be too bad. Skillful Dodge is left up in the deck. So it's defend. Taunt gets defensive stance. Great. Skillful Dodge does it. Beauty. Hold firm. Gain 15 block, gain 10 counter, and 1 blur. Love it. We're definitely going with, like, mostly a defensive stance build here. I think that is pretty much a foregone conclusion for us. Do I have a way to enter defensive before I play the Skillful Dodge? It's not super important that I do. Let's enter defensive there. Did that not? Oh. For some reason, I was certain that entering defensive was part of that card. Oh, no, it's set a trap. I was mistaking for set a trap. Hold firm. On guard. And then I can't false counter, sadly. But I've got blur, so I might as well defend again. Oh, sorry. My apologies. I forgot to turn the thing on. I apologize. Sorry. Sorry, commenters. It's my bad. Ah, right, of course. We have the ethereal weaken of all enemies here. Let's start out with the set of trap. We can weaken all of our enemies. And weaken them again if we'd really like. In fact, that's probably the way to go about that there. Take as little damage as we can. False counter requires the defensive, which I have, but unfortunately it made me exit the stance. Maybe I should have used the duel first, right? For the extra Yeah, for the extra counter. Would have been dual. It's okay, we have more opportunities. Oh my god, the rest of the deck is so much better than... I can't lose this much HP here. Turn on the front line, they lose their block before they attack us. This pre-blocked us for the next turn. Don't need to do anything there. I'll even give you weak for the next turn, just in case. Alright, we're good. Hold firm, and then the enemy dies to the counter of this. We've got an upcoming merchant. I don't really want to go there. If I can avoid it. Tornado Punch, defensive combo, gains 5 counter and 5 block for each enemy hit. I mean, we're good at, you know, single target fights, not good at AoE fights. I think we just need that for specifically that reason. As much as I want cheap shot there. I think our AoE weakness is just too bad. And so sad. Oh god. That's rough. Yeah, we don't really do damage unless the enemy attacks us, so guess we kind of just wait here, gain some fatigue, see if that does anything. There we go. There's the shield throw. We're pretty defensive. We'll take it. And then thankfully we have exactly the 75 that is required to remove the pain. We had to go there to remove the pain, otherwise I was just going to lose so much HP to it. I have 2 potions that really ought to help me through this fight a decent amount. Should probably wake him up after I have a hold firm, probably. Probably. Defensive combo is 6 counter there. There we go. Bunch of block that I hold for this turn, which the enemy is not attacking on. Oops. And I'm not in defensive mode, so the Tornado Punch isn't going to be good here. I'm using a power potion. We're officially at that point. First time you use a combo each turn, return to your hand to cast Revenant's Plague. Cool. Fine. Get punched. Punched again. The idea here is that I get to return Skillful Dodge to the hand. Yeah, we'll enter defensive, although that returns the set of trap to hand again. Rather than the more defensive one I was looking for. Ow. There's Hold Firm, which is not a combo. Shield Throw is, though. Great. Anchor, 10 block on turn 1. Huge. Wildly useful for us. We need more defensive stance sentry. We have like 2 of them in the entire deck, I think. Can't block next turn. I may just need to block next turn exclusively. Really ought to have thrown that last turn in retrospect. Triple strike. 2 strikes to your hand. They cost 0 and have technique. Strike is more of an aggressive kind of build. I'll take a battle plan there. Good damage output on that turn. Wrap him up. Beautiful. All right, boss. Please don't bully me too bad. Gain 10 counter. If your counter is used this turn, add riposte to your hand. Riposts for the amount of counter used. I want all of these. Quite desperately, in fact. I'm taking parry because the other one's easier to get. Enemy's already made us vulnerable on turn 1. We've got the duel and skillful dodge here. If skillful dodge grows large enough, we're good. So it's like a relatively good early game pick if I manage to cycle back to it. Tornado punch and a shield throw to boot. Hey, of course, we get to make the enemy vulnerable with these. Beautiful. And they lose half of ours to that. The enemy's actually really running out of HP here. I think that was going to be a lot worse. I guess we did get basically every good block on the correct turns for them to be used. So sure, we're a bit fortuitous. Another hold firm. Love it. I really want to go for the elites next floor. But at the same rate, those elites right now can just kill us. Easily. AoE fights are pretty hard for us. We've only got the tornado punch for that. Riposte is not going to be good against the AoE fights as well. I still prefer it pretty strongly to the other two options there. Maybe I only go for 2 elites. Maybe I don't try and push it that hard, and that's how we get value out of it. Sure. Let's break the ruby first, and then smith up. I mean, both hold firms really want to be smithed up. I mean, they're decent smithed. Slightly more damage AoE. Not going to be cycling back to that consistently. Taunt for the correct stance entry, getting into defensive. It's usually a much earlier upgrade than here. Definitely fine doing it though. 11. Okay, if I don't defend again, I get an excess 11 block next turn, which could be useful. It's possible this hand... Okay. It didn't happen, but it was possible that this hand was going to be extremely undefensive. Defensive combo. Cool. Going to defensive. Use the defensive combo. Enter defensive again. Ouch. 9 damage to us. Finally got the ability to damage them directly again. Both at the same time, at least. There's our shield throw. That's what I've been looking for this whole time. Beauty. Focus Berserker, Chain Lash, and Fury Strikes. I mean... just seems like a worse way of accomplishing the counter gain that we have from other cards already. Ooh. Upgrade 2 random cards. Yes. Shield throw into defend. Not going to argue with that. I guess I'm going here to just try and fight now. That is to say to go and fight the shopkeep. I don't really think that was going to be part of our game plan, but... maybe I'm powerful enough. Okay, going all out in terms of damage there was really good. To skip the most damaging turn. Oh. Not a berserker. Hold firm's pretty good here, though. I'm also probably going to use the liquid bronze in this fight. But there are pretty good fights this floor for it instead, though. There you go, give me the riposte for 20 damage back. 22 damage back. Oh, right. 22 is the points of strength added to it. We go hold firm, strike, lariat, and then riposte. There you go. Got an extra strike out there in the end. Dual Berserker's Shout. Defensive combo. You know what? Flash Strike we'll just take as like an interim card to the build. Gain 2 decks. At the end of each turn, gain 6 counter, upgrades to 9 counter. Fine. I'll take a single shield wall as well. I want to experiment with some of the cards that I didn't get to experiment with in the previous attempt at a similar build to this. That said, we should make sure that we don't overload on a bunch of powers that I'm not really going to want to have constantly. Don't want my opening hand to just be all taking damage, no dealing damage. Okay, the riposte is 12. Should have played the riposte there. It's my bad. Got hold firm left in the deck. The enemy, I'm no longer vulnerable. Yeah, so I can just do this. Hold firm. Get him. Battle plans, circumvent, gain block equal to your counter. That's just something that you want to put at least one copy of for spiked defense. Take a sapphire key over that, actually. If I'm not going super aggressive, why not? Not that jazzed about super walls upgrade there. We'll take the tornado punch instead, and then I need to go for both of these. Ideally, at least. Neat. We take no damage. We're not even weakened or made vulnerable. Good lord. That actually worked out for us. I think I should probably pull out a colorless potion here, because otherwise we're having a little bit of trouble. No, I don't want to put shield wall on the bottom of the deck, because I'm not going to be able to play it this turn otherwise. So I really want to be able to kill one of the backliners. False counter to get out of it, and then we taunt to get back into it, back to the same defensive, and then we attack the back line again. Tornado Punch is like a huge part of our defensive kit. We're not going to be able to use that, is the thing. Yeah, there it is. There's a Tornado Punch. Thankfully, we do have Hold Firm as well to defend, so it could be worse. In fact, we're still not taking damage. Bit sad about the Tornado Punch, but hey, it happens. 6 damage, 7 damage, 7 damage. No 7 damage in the head. Let's go for the 8 against the backline there. And then on guard. And I guess duel. Just anything that gives us extra block at that point. Actually, you know what? Using that potion is really good block. We got this. I'm really surprised that I haven't taken damage in this fight. Ability 12, 24. Cool. It's lethal. Matryoshka, as well as the Regal Pillow. Love to see that. Last Stand. Can only be played if you're under 50% HP. Remove all debuffs. Gain 6 strength. Finish up. Crown Orang. Deal 10 damage. If this doesn't cost 0, return it to your hand next turn. Cost 0 until played. I haven't used Crown Orang at all. I want to just click it and use it once. See what's up with it. I'll stay in defensive mode so that shield block would be a really good play still. That could have been better. Shield block for 38. Hopefully we find it in the next cycle as well. We're not going to be able to get to the next cycle. Not quick enough for that. Yikes. We may not kill the shopkeeper at all. Not really what I was hoping for. Okay. Let's take a base strike out of that deck. I mean, we had the 100. We had the ability to remove. That's good enough for me, frankly. Okay, Crown Orang can kill one of the frontliners for us. Parry. Nope. I'm gonna be simple about this. Shield wall, pop a Crown Orang there, and a strike. And then the Crown Orang is gonna stay in the discard pile. Yep, doesn't come back to the hands. Okay, we enter defensive, play this for more counter, play defend, and then play that for even more defense. None of the enemies go down, but the backline are already attacked, so we don't have to worry about that. Invoking their wrath. We got another hold firm in the deck as well. Great, so we're going to be able to blur down the line. Or I could kill someone. Ooh! And we even get to get the whole firm out after all of that. Yeah, definitely killing someone turned out to be the correct decision there. Double 11 in the back line in the 12. Unfortunately, now we lose all of that blurred block. Right on the turn, it turns out we needed it. Perfect. You're kidding me, that's the only thing I didn't need you to modify. 42 incoming, we have 48 HP. Rough. Yeah. Did not like that. Let's rest here. Thankfully, the Regal Pillow pulls us back up to a decent amount. I mean, also the preserved insect, is going to allow us the ability to get through a lot more elites on the next floor, so that's going to be useful. That's a defensive. Use the set a trap. Defend and then Crown Orang him. So little defense right there. Certain we were going to already have the kill there. Confused by not having it. I mean, Tornado Bunch is going to be fine. Just not incredible. It is very much the AoE fights that we're just least prepared against. I do just need to try and kill the front line as quickly as possible. Single strike out of death, that's good. You have another one of the whole firms left in deck, right? No? But we can enter defensive. Then kill you. Or defend and a circumvent, and then even a shield throw to round things out. Okay, we're doing decently near the end of the fight at the absolute least. Perfect. Strike of Genius. The start of turn, add a random card containing strike into your hand. It costs 0 until played and gains exhaust. Upgrades the card by base as well. Sure, why not? If it exhausts, it's just extra damage for us. Nice. Got a good finish there. Rapid Strike deals 5 damage 2 times, deals an additional 5 damage for each technique bonus triggered this turn. Unfortunately, that didn't count as triggering technique bonuses because I wasn't in the stance at the time. We really do still need to find more stance entry. It is a key thing we have been missing this entire time. No. So it's got the After Image and Doppelganger going out here early. There's no real reason to change anything there except for just over defend in case we kick the blur down the line. Ah, right, I wasn't in defensive, of course. I was wondering why that didn't count for some reason. Makes a whole lot of sense that it didn't, though. Flash strike to enter defensive, defend, and then pulse counter. No, I don't want to exit that stance. We still have the shield bash left in the deck. Shield throw, rather. Oof. Okay, actually only 20 incoming damage. Okay, we dealt with that okay. Could have certainly been a lot worse. Strike of Genius into Taunt, into defensive, and then Lariat to get an energy back to attack with. Thankfully the enemy took that turn off, so I could as well. I'm allowing this to break my block. So I get the 11 block next turn as well. 14 incoming? Okay. Tornado Punch is actually going to trigger, and it does trigger 2 times, despite the fact that one of the enemies was illusory. Good to see. With the amount of block they're generating, this fight is going to be reasonably long still, though. We are so far from out of these woods. It's a Riddle with Holes deck. I understand it now, and I hate it. I mean, I didn't even do any extra damage with that last one. Probably should have just stayed in the stance. Perfector Strike was already 0 cost, so thank you for taking a 0 cost card and making it 0 cost stance entry. Would have cast it earlier had I known. Still no stance entry there, unfortunately. Shield Throw's left in the deck. That may be our salvation. It's just not really great at generating a bunch of block on a single turn yet. I'm not allowed to block this turn. I planned that last turn, though. Unfortunately, that means shield throw is going to be bad, right? Wait, was I in defensive? Oh, apparently I was in defensive. I did not think that was the case. Well, we're still alive. Surprisingly. Against all odds. When I've used a technique, this card costs 1 less and deals 3 more damage. It exhausts still, so... Taking the shield throw. Remove more cards from the deck or lose the ability to upgrade them. We do have Warp Tongs. I'm probably going to take an aggressive path next floor. I never play more than 6 cards in a single turn. Velvet Choke is fine. There are things we could take that would result in us taking more than that. But I don't have them yet. Oh, wow. What is happening with the screen behind us? Sorry about that if that's been happening the entire time. Now I'm over-lightened. Growing pains. I have all of the lights on. Why is all of the lights not stopping that from... I guess different lighting conditions at different parts of the day. I don't mean to draw too much attention to it. I'm just going to try and crop it out a little bit so that it's not as noticeable. My apologies. There obviously will be some growing pains as we're trying to get this sorted out to be a more consistent element of things. Thank you for your patience during that. Okay. 3-leap path. We sacrificed last floor, so now we reap on this one. Strike of Genius, so we have upgraded strikes, I feel. Pretty hugely impactful. Flash Strike. Just to get in the right form. False counter. Next time counter activates on again. I can do that there. Because ideally I just keep a bunch of counter against this enemy. And then have them hit me, and then have them hit me again. Although we have got too much counter there, so they didn't get a second time to hit us. Armorous Tincture is still better, I think. For us, at least. Duplicate 2 cards. Ooh. I only think we have one we want to duplicate, and I think it's Lariat. No, it's going to be the upgraded shield throw. I think if I just have enough of those in the deck, I'll be fine. Sure, I'll need to enter defensive at some point, but we'll deal with that when we have to. We want defensive style, the innate defensive entry. Would be what we'll be looking for. Let's go for more defense than we can get there, and then 34s against a single target. Fine. Alright, I'm just gonna go shield wall and hold firm. Just try and set myself up for a later turn where I have a giant couple of shield throws going out. Add gain block equal to your counter. Perfect. That's all the block we need there. Strike of Genius, hold firm. Yeah, I don't need to do anything else. Beauty. Colorless Potion, as well as another Circumvent. Probably a bit much. Just a bit more than required there. 8, 8, 11, 16, 11, 29. That's fine. I can certainly count. You know, 1, etc. I can definitely count. It's not a consistent issue at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, it may well be. Not really jazzed about what the rest of the fight feels like it's probably going to be. Feels like it's going to be a whole lot of us taking a whole lot of damage. Oh my god, we actually don't even have any defensive generation in this hand. Do I have a finisher? I don't have a finisher either. Not left to do. Circumvent our way into a duel. We're at the point where if the enemy decides to hit me at all, they are going to die. We're still at that same point. I can't hit the enemy without taking damage myself right now, though. There we go. Defensive style, and it's pre-upgraded. We now have innate defensive entry in our opening hands. Something I was pretty desperately looking for, and god, it really, really pulls itself out here. See this? Otherwise, doing that would have forced me not to be able to block on this turn, which clearly we needed to be able to block on this turn. That is. Hell yeah. No. I'm going for it. Really? You attacked again. I was wagering in my going for it that you weren't going to be attacking again, and therefore I was going to be okay. Evidently not the best wager I've ever made. Good riposte there, though. Defensive Thesis. Defensive stances finisher bonus gains 8 more block. There's also Bottled Tornado to put a card in our opening hand. The Strike of Genius in the opening hand actually gives us some damage on the turns that we're not using everything else. Gladiator Form. Whenever you use a bonus, technique bonus that is, draw a card. Whenever you use a finisher bonus, gain an energy next turn. We have the Velvet Choker. I think I might actually be better served just by going for an on guard. Choose your bracelet and Warpaint. Warpaint hits false counter. Neat. Just gains 6 more counter, right? His false counter isn't huge there. Still nice to have. Love that power generation in the opening turn, though. Okay. Let's set a trap and hold firm. Get a Crown out there, and then a shield throw. Throw out a... Do I really want to throw out the Quick Strike? Sure. We have more defensive entry in the deck. Specifically, 3 more defensive entry in the deck. Hey, we found it. Requires defensive, gain 6 counter. Next time counter activates, only lose half. I'm probably better served. We don't need to talk about that. That's okay. We don't need to talk about it. It's fine. That was 100 damage we just accidentally gave up there. But it's okay, because we don't need to talk about it, as I mentioned earlier. Go. Triple strike, a shield throw, flash strike. Damn. This turn's stacked. Flash strike into triple strike, strike and then a strike, and then give him the big duel. What? Get dead. Shuriken and the ornamental fan. Yeah, too late. Not going to take battle plan because it's going to be a problem with the rest of the stuff that we're doing at the moment. This is not the finisher. We don't have enough entries to really support the second. Pick up there, that is. Let's rest. Let's just in case. Because sometimes the enemies are very, 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 very mean. And I don't want them to be so mean such that I lose. Okay, let's gain more counter. Circumvent for the sake of the defense. I have to use that. It's the point of strength and everything. It's just, now I need defensive entry before I can start shield slamming again. Shield throwing rather again. Yeah, there we go. We got shield throws in this hand today. I can cast them, and I should. It's just, as a result of having done so, I'm not going to be able to do almost any damage the next turn. Oh, but I guess I didn't. If I don't get another shield throw, it doesn't matter. Curious. Very, very curious. It's been so long since I've had to play around the Velvet Choker, I kind of forgot how. Okay, I need to go down to this shop. We need to actually kill the shopkeeper so I can get some money out of it. Recoup some of the lost value of having gone to this many shops that I didn't necessarily want to be in. Ugh. So that effectively was just a fight for us. Didn't really get any value out of it afterwards. Ow. Thankfully that hits back on the enemy. Oh, but no, they... Alright, there's gonna be a problem then. Okay. Flash. Skillful. Duel. Shield throw. Lariat. It doesn't matter to do the second shield throw there. Murder strike, hold firm. I guess we have to use the murder strike here. Best I can do. We get to keep 7 block for the next turn. Oh, thank heck we have the strikes being generated every turn. Otherwise, we would already be completely screwed. Fine. Another triple strike, really? Surprises me a lot. Four. I'll do it. It certainly could have been a lot worse. Could have been better, but it could have been worse. Let's focus on that. Defensive. Do I really want to false counter this early? Not really. Have to find some AoE source this turn, though. Or die. I could do that as well. 10 flurry. Okay, 10, gain the block and defense and stuff. Hit you. Hit you. I really want a flurry of strikes here. We are so light on defensive entry. It's wild. I really would have expected to find more by now. Shield wall definitely wants to go out. I'm going to execute for the card draw. Laureate to have the ability to do whatever else I want afterwards. Enter defensive again. And then flurry of strikes. Should have just flurried of strikes before I did that, I think. That would have been correct. Oof. Alright, battle plan, what do you got? No, that's not gonna do it. Actually, it will. Hit me and die. Frozen egg. Whenever you add a power card to your deck, upgrade it, as well as the Duvu Doll. Ooh, there's a Duvu Doll, of course, is for each curse in your deck start each combat with 1 strength. You have no curses, but you have the... Oh, I don't have the blue cannon. Last stand. I don't really have debuffs that I clear off of myself. Like, I guess the only debuff would be you cannot gain block. Just gun in hand, increment its damage by 5 for this combat. Yeah, super not super rather jazzed about that either. Fine, we'll go for the false counter there. I definitely shouldn't have gone for the thing I went for. It's going to be useful because the spikers, but it's also going to be rough because of the non-entry of defense stance stuff. What is going on, or rather is not going on in this deck. I'm glad I made that so clear. Fancy footwork requires defensive or berserker. Enter the stance you aren't in, draw 2 cards. No. That doesn't go in this deck with the Velvet Choker. I think we'll be fine without that one. Coming at me. Rip. Need for all the money. We find something worthwhile again. Skillful dodge number 2. No, it's too late and too thick of a deck for a skillful dodge number 2. One pick up, choose a card, remove it from your draw pile at the start of turn 3, add it to your hand to cost 0. That would actually be really good for Gladiator. Like if I had Gladiator. Anyway, we don't need to think about the things that we don't have. Let's focus on the stuff we do. Nothing, as it turns out, almost nothing. We just remove a base strike from the deck at this rate. I don't want to curse here anyway, if I can avoid it. 33 incoming. We'll hit you for the appropriate amount. That's fine. 39 incoming damage. I mean, it's not like I was holding firm or anything like that. Might as well utilize it in that way. I'm gonna regret this, aren't I? 39? No, fine. Take 1 damage, get to draw a bunch of cards off the back of it. Taunts our way back into defensive. There's a preemptive strike. That's not even a finisher here, it's just... Also not really getting a lot of utilization. Okay. I took a risk there to try and end this fight a turn earlier. It worked out. It's not always going to work out like that. Maybe I shouldn't have done it, but it did work out. So this time it was fine. As long as it works, it's correct. Shield wall over the hold firm. Yes. Having some passive counter gain is going to be pretty good for us. We have a lot of effects that rely on us having good counter already. Okay, this is pretty good. Skillful dodge. We execute. Getting a bunch of draw. We taunt our way back into defensive. We use Rising Strike 2 times here. And then finish up with a giant shield throw. Pretty reasonable turn. This one, a little bit less so. Set a trap. So we get to play 4 more cards. I mean, we only have the energy to play 4 of these cards anyway. We got Toried by... Oh, you. I'm going to hit the block potion as well, because I'm actually kind of scared. Hold firm duel seems pretty reasonable here. Even throw out a rapid strikes at the end. Shield throw, eh? 39 with 9. Okay, we're fine. 1, 2, 3. Give him the throw. Do I also want to exit? No, stance entry is still really rough for us. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to enter stance this time. Alright. Let's hold firm 2 times over, and then just throw out the attacks. Sure, we're constantly weakened, but I also think the enemy is already dead, so... I think ultimately I would prefer to be on my side of this table. Nice. 1246. Alright, the quality of this next shop is going to be incredibly important. Artifact Potion is a huge hit for us. We've been keeping the Speed Potion for the final fight, with the possibility of having artifacting for it. Obviously, basically just anything else that synergizes with this build as well, pretty good, but... I've already put my cards on the table of which one I'm hoping for. Mm, 50 incoming damage this turn. Thankfully, we have Circumvent in this hand. I would love to play Shield Wall. Would have loved to have played Shield Wall. Just don't think that was the right position for it. We had Taunt anyway. Fine. 1, 2, 3, and then a giant shield throw. Wrap that up with the rapid strikes. Ooh, so much incoming damage. Block. Block. Shield throw is kind of block. Can't I just have 1 of my HP back, please? Another bomb is going to go off this turn, and I'm also really undefended. Uh-oh. Which counter can I gain? Only 6 from that right now. It's fine, I lose 3 health. Pretty stressed about that fight the entire time, I'll be honest with you. Harry is nice, but it's also pretty hard for us to cast a lot of the time. Spending a lot of our energy just defending in other ways. Donu Blast and Deca Shield is actually pretty good too. Duplication Potion is also really good. We'll take the membership card first because we have enough money that is going to be overall efficient for us. Pantograph, heal going into the boss fights. Sure, that gives me the ability to upgrade another card. I'll take that. Then... Donor Blast, fine. We're healing up before going into the fight anyway. Donor Blast is one of the ones that I'm going to have to guarantee an upgrade on, so the Decker Shield comes out constantly as well. I just want a big defend. That's... I don't even want the other half of the card. That said, we do have strength gain and some scaling strength gain, so it's not like the other half of the card is bad for us. I gotta save the duplication potion for the final fight, I think. Maybe for playing double... maybe for playing double Strike of Genius on turn 1 in the next fight. Seems reasonable. Haunted's already done its effect. I have no reason to burn it out with a blue candle now. Works for me. Single target. Single target. Single target duel. Fighting for her client. Wearing sexy mini skirts and being self-reliant. Do we have parry? Yeah, we have parry, but it's just with the 10 instantaneously. I think we just hold firm shield throw. Find some time to triple strike in there as well. Let me get the enemy down without using my own block, please. My own counter, rather. Okay, that's not going to happen. We dared to dream. And then the dream said no. Okay, we're not doing that either. Alright, silent. Unfortunately, they added a bunch of statuses to my discard pile, but hopefully I can find a way to utilize them effectively. Let's get the Bewildered out of there before it ruins us. A lot of that turn was exceedingly unnecessary, near the end especially. Maybe I should have just played out the Icky. Definitely should have just played out the Icky in retrospect. Blast double hits a target that has already disappeared. Crooked Strike will get us out of the defense. $20 block? Sure. Get another point of strength. And we're vulnerable this turn. The enemy is going to split again. Shield throw, Decker Shield. Yeah. This is what I wanted. I just want to have the ability to Decker Shield. But right now, Frail really cutting away its value. That plus parry, Crown Orang, and I guess a Crooked Strike because I'm already out of stance. Thank heck all my debuffs wear off. Yeah, even if I remove enemies from the field, I'm not going to be able to duel here, so... I mean, I just got to defend. Best I can do right there. Unfortunately, I lost the Decker Shields. Decker Slam, rather. Donu Slam? One of them. I lost it. Whatever it was, I lost it. Not here anymore. Okay, so that is most of the statuses and stuff that we've drawn through. It's just the top of the deck was loaded with them. If the rest of the deck had the the same saturation of unplayable cards. Life will be violent and all will be lost. The airplane and the radio cry out for the goodness of man, cry out for universal brotherhood and unity is all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions across the globe, millions of men, women, and little children, victims of the system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed. Etc., etc., etc. You know the script. I'm assuming. Like, I'm glad to have Blur for 2 turns at the absolute least. Yeah, this is where it gets dicey. I think I had the ability to get out of that stance right there, and I also have the ability to make the enemy weak. There we go. Alright, never mind, that could have been a lot worse. We're doing good. Finally, we actually get to taunt our way back into defensive on a good turn for it. The enemy died with Jax. I actually got them to kill themselves on their own turn. Unintentionally entirely as well. I'm actually a little sad that it was unintentional rather than specific and targeted. Guess Lariat just powers up the Ethereal Strike. That's not defense. You have 1, 2 defensive entries left in the deck. I'm not going to use the strike then. I can't use a finisher right now. So Convict gets a giant block for us, make the enemy vulnerable, and pop him for a giant whap of damage there. Sure, I'll draw. Let's get some more counter response, sure. I need to start only losing half of my counter when I lose it, but at the same rate, I need to play both Hold Firms. Those counters in the same hand. This final fight's going to be a problem. Calling it early. Ow. Again? Please stop. We have to miss a shield throw there. Thankfully, the enemy wasn't attacking too much on that turn, though. Flash Strike is our start sentry. $51, eh? Fine. Only because it gets us so close to lethal. Enemy's not going to be vulnerable. Yeah, it's going to wear off. Hold firm parry and hit him with the rapid strikes. I think we're fine here. Beautiful. Maybe it's shield wall that we want to do with the dupe potion, because there are a lot of strikes I saw in that fight that we just don't want to play. First attack against now each turn deals 0 damage. Now loses 5 mantra per turn and adds a random status to the draw pile. It's a lot of finishes. I think I do have to double play Shield Wall. I don't like it. If that helps at all, it makes me not mad, but sad. I feel ungood about that. Hold firm shield throw. I mean, Wilder needs to get out of hand. Then we have to play hold firm. Then we have to play flawed as well. We don't really get too much choice on that turn, unfortunately. If we don't want the entire deck to trash itself. I don't mean to be oh, I didn't get the best opening baby rage kind of like, you know. But I'm pretty sure we're screwed and have been for a while. Okay. Effective strike, and then we can re-enter defensive. Just play the rest of the hand then. There you go. Maybe. God, haunted again? I can't burn. I can't burn the shield throw. It's an absolute essential that I play that. Which means I do have to lose the donors. It's okay. Maybe they already provided enough, us enough value for them to be fine there. I'll make the enemy weak usefully on this turn. Calipers would be nice. Calipers would be good here. Okay, so the output of that is 36, 52, 52. Alright, we have the ability to get back into defensive though, so we'll execute, get back into defensive. That hit Ignite, really. Out of all the cards in it, it's fine. I guess we lose On Guard here. $32. Yeah, this is one of the worst scenarios. Okay, we'll use the Armorer's Tincture, weaken the enemy, lose some strength from that enemy. $41 or 10 and 10. Choke out the rest of the hand. Just need another defensive. Hey, flash strike. Great. We're getting defensive entries from the strikes themselves now. Rad. It's actually super useful there. Hold firm duel. Let's go with the speed potion. Hit him with a duel for a decent amount of defense. 24 by 3 is going to be 72. Right, 3 more cards I get to play, so triple strike, strike, and strike. All right. I was wrong. I was wrong. I really thought we were going to have a lot more stress in that fight. I mean, there was stress in that fight, right? And there were turns where we were undefended, if not for our potion. The shield wall itself, honestly, I think the fact that we just had constant counter growing up was really, really important. Otherwise, I mean, it wasn't upgraded, right, when we doubled it. So it gave us 12 counter each turn. I don't know how long the fight went there. I lost the counter, the turn counter. But that'd give you a general idea of how much damage that actually ended up doing for us. Nice. That's one whale hunted for the moment, though. My name is Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire Downfall. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. There's a playlist in the description down below with all my content of the game, past, present, and future. And hopefully we'll see you next time.